All right, going live. Nobody has a clue that I'm going live. Just now signing into the gun channel side. Absolutely nobody has a clue that I'm going live. It's just an impromptu, not suitable for viewers live chat. I'm going to post the link up in the gun channel side. And Kenneth, Gary, Phoenix, how's it going, guys? I just decided to just go live for the heck of it. It's going to be an impromptu, completely impromptu, free for all. I'm going to do the one thing that is not advised by anybody to do, and post the link up in the YouTube chat. Anybody wants to jump in, please feel free to do so. Completely impromptu, not suitable for viewing, free for all for anybody to come into. Well, it looks like Phoenix is going to end up jumping in. That's good. That's good. Anybody's willing to jump in. It's going to be a complete free for all. Absolutely going to be a complete free for all. That's not suitable for viewing. So if anybody wants to jump in, it's just a complete impromptu chat here, guys. I have nothing scheduled. Graham, I kind of assumed that you may not. Midnight Range, you're welcome to jump in, sir, if it is if you'd like. RL, I figured that you'd be trolling the chat this evening, but if you'd like to jump in, I am doing the one thing that everybody advises not to do and putting the link in the YouTube side. If there's some troll out there that wants to come in and destroy the chat, they can go ahead and do that. It's just an impromptu.
Hey, you're already here.
Hey, how's it going there, guys? I was just pulling the screen up.
Going good.
Good. Things going good there, Gary. I like the logo. Reminds me of the good old Grateful Dead.
Yeah, actually, if you're old enough to remember, that is an adaptation of the old civil defense logo that used to be on the bomb shelters and stuff like that.
Yeah, yep. As you could probably tell, I got a little age to me. I did see the plans for Dirt. If that tells you about how old I am, I did see the plans for Dirt. We got Wicked Sensation jumped in the side chat. Good to see Wicked up in there. RL just jumped in. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Go ahead, RL.
That new light and the smokes make I run out and grab a chew.
Yeah, my grandfather said that he was going to drink and smoke himself to death, and he died himself a very happy man. And some people ask me, "Why do you smoke?" I said, "Well, because I'm suicidal. I just choose to do it very slowly."
Yeah.
I smoke for the safety of people around me.
I smoke so others don't have to. So yeah, I was just over on TR Preppers chat here on the YouTube side. Caught a little bit of that. That was an interesting show. He did go off on one of the guys that I'm liking right now, Mr. Wicked Sensation, who's in the side chat. Something Southern, good to see you there, sir.
Wasn't that the winner of the
I didn't quite understand exactly where he was going, but Wicked Sensation, I would be you to join in the chat if you could, but if you're not up to it, that's fine. That's fine. I'm doing what is not, which is not something that most people will do. I'm posting the link in the YouTube side and in the gun channel side. We just had ourselves a Clover Tack jump in the room. How's it going there, Clover Tack? I'm doing the ballsy thing of putting in the link in the YouTube side. It's a free for all that's not suitable for viewing. So has anybody got anything going on as of late?
Yeah, you're a goober for doing that.
Hey, Clover.
What's up?
I never quite understand. How would you define a goober?
A goober?
Yeah, how would a goober actually defined? Isn't that a candy?
No, it's peanut butter and jelly.
A goober is a chocolate covered nut. So I mean, it looks delicious on the outside because of the chocolate covering. So I mean, it looks appetizing, but then underneath it's just a nut. So.
Well, that would explain me to the T. Except I'm kind of just nuts all the way around from what the doctors say.
There you go.
Never know what's going to end up happening with one of these free for alls. Just as long as the troll doesn't come in and kick the chat down, it'll be all right.
After midnight, I think it should be all right.
Hell, we are half the trolls.
Point.
Gonna say they're here already. Well, Ella's isn't here yet.
Ellis ain't here yet. Yep, that's definitely an advantage for all of us. Yeah, just doing a little impromptu free for all that's not suitable for viewing. What'd you do today, Clover?
Taught kids how to reload shotgun shells.
I should have took that class.
They love
Now,
it.
I saw you talking. I saw you chatting a little bit on the on mid range there about doing that. You actually using a press to do that, or what? How'd you show them how to do that?
I'm Mech Junior. I use Mech Junior presses. They're built like tanks, and I mean the best ones are the really old models. I don't know. You'd have to get on Mech to I don't remember the date, but like a pre-81 or something. And you can still get parts for those. And then also some of the safety feature upgrades and stuff for the new presses will actually fit on the older presses. But the older ones are like all metal. I mean, they're just tanks, man. They go forever. A lot of people like to use the use that Lee Lodahl press, but I mean the majority is plastic. So
it's plastic, but it's built pretty solid.
Yeah, but it's plastic at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's $50 though.
Yeah, but you can get a used mech for not much more than that.
If you can find it.
I bought it's been a few years ago now, and I sold all of them but one because it was only one I needed. But I bought 5 Mech and it was Mech and Pacific, I think, presses. And I gave like $100 for all 5 of them. Now, granted, they were missing various parts and whatnot, but still. What in the world?
People coming in left and right.
Yeah, Scotsman, you got their link there in the side chat, and I did turn you into a Blue Wrench. Looks like the crazy Scotsman be joining in the house.
What's up, Scotsman?
What's up, guys? How are you all doing?
All right.
Still awake.
Yeah, fuck
Well.
knows how.
Hello.
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 See if I can pull up the camera. Anybody want to see some gun porn? I got a new carry gun.
Camera it all up. It don't matter. I got no problems with cameras on.
It's just not a Glock.
Oh, bite your tongue.
If it's a Glock, you can stick the Glock up your ass.
You got that new High Point compact?
I don't know if this is working. Hold on.
It's working.
Yeah, we can see your
Can you see
head.
it? No.
I recommend you try.
It's showing a gun in my head.
It's a working.
It was a gun, then it flipped to your finger.
Is it still my finger?
Yep.
There we go.
Now it's a gun.
That's a good.
Well, there it is.
You got a CZ there?
Yep. CZ75 compact. I just got it back from being Cerakoted yesterday.
Oh, there it is.
Very
Yeah.
nice, man. Very nice.
I gotta get the grip put on it yet. G10 grips. I gotta modify one of them because this one has the lanyard stud, so I gotta do a little Dremel work here. But I don't know. I might have to. Hopefully, I can get it done tomorrow morning and get it out to the range tomorrow.
Right on.
There we go. Flip her off. Unless anybody really wants to see a picture of me at midnight in my pajamas.
Sure.
I shouldn't ask this group that.
Yeah. Not a good idea.
Mohawk can be presentable in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a full size CZ and a clone, and a CZ82 I've carried for quite a while. So I decided to go with a compact and see how that works out.
Lots of new faces here in the chat.
Yeah, and everybody's welcome to turn cameras on if you just don't, want to look at just me smoking and drinking. Then, yeah, feel free to turn cameras on. I got no problem with that. I got absolutely no problem with anything that just won't get my channel banned or shut down. I can't afford to lose live streaming privileges, but other than that, free for all, not suitable for viewing. So,
Well, I better not turn my camera on then because I just so happens I'm wearing a white sheet. So,
I had my camera on a couple minutes before you opened your chat and showed everybody my pussy. So,
Yeah, and it's apparently I lost some kind of beard contest. I'm not quite sure what happened there, and yeah, I don't think you want to see this beard because apparently it's not good enough.
Well, beards aren't sexy anymore. They're queer. So. That's what
for those of you that don't know, the Crazy Scotsman and Wicked Sensation were in an epic battle of the beards, and I was the judge in this battle, and the Crazy Scotsman lost by default.
Did they
The battle of the beards.
Did they do where you like when I was a kid you do like thumb wars and they like beards against each other and be the judge? Was that what the competition was? Or,
Well, it's funny when he did the video. That was the first thing he said. It's not that they went beard to beard and were like fighting each other with the beards.
It's not like they were slapping each other around with their beards or anything. But
If that was the case, I would definitely have won that one.
because they have an old thing in the Mexican culture where you like use your gut and you don't do anything but the gut to buck each other. It's just like two people bucking each other with the guts, and so you can win and knock the other person down.
Yep.
Well, this chat just went to shit. Ellis joined.
Oh no!
Kiss Ellis's ass.
There's the neighborhood.
Well,
The neighborhood went down when he started this chat.
There's Baptists and Southern Baptists. We don't care for them Southern Baptists around here.
It started off bad and it's just getting worse.
Well, at least Night Strike's not in here. Hey.
Yeah, yep, thank God. And Night Strike hadn't figured it out yet. It'd be nothing but shall not be infringed, shall not be infringed.
Well, I hope he does show up. I got something to tell him.
You're pregnant?
I've got some very good news today.
You're eating for two?
That's what I got.
That's it.
I got some I got some news, man. I went to take a piss and good Lord, let me tell you what I got.
Actually, I'm putting on a special show Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
It'll be Never Enough Ammo.
Uh-huh.
So.
Well,
Yeah,
I have
you
this,
actually got Matt to come in on your show. How much is he going to charge you for that?
oh, he charges a lot, man. It's like at least 2 Kit Kats and a Whataburger.
No. He said something about 300 an hour. So.
Well, I don't want to try to outshine you, but I have the security guard, Juan Campos, coming on my show this coming Friday.
Well, hell, dude, I'm a security guard. I've got 12 years of experience. I could have done that shit for you for free.
Well, now that's what I'm telling. Now I'm not saying it's the Juan Campos, but the guy named Juan Campos that's gonna come on and he's gonna spill his guts. He's gonna lay it down, dude. So, sir, were you there? Not really. So, were you? So you see a shooter? Not really.
Yeah, it's a Juan Compost, but he's not a security guard. He's a dishwasher, right?
Well, he's just gonna be there, and I got him, and I can do a legit, announcement that I got Juan Campos coming on this Friday's chat, and homeboy's gonna lay it down. He's like, so did you shoot him? No, not really.
you have the FBI listening in on your chat.
Well, speaking of the NSA,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I neither
sweatshirt.
You
I
found
neither-
the gun community. Here we are.
acknowledge or deny I ever worked for the NSA, just the government.
Potatoes and Lead has strolled into the room. How's it going there, Potatoes?
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
And
I have a question. Are you mashed potatoes, fried potatoes, boiled potatoes?
Tater tots.
Tater
We're all
tot?
inclusive here. We like them anyway. I don't discriminate.
What about
French
poached?
fried?
French fried, poached, baked potatoes, potato salad.
French fried taters there. Uh-huh.
Hey, Clover,
Yes,
what's
sir.
going on, buddy?
Tell you, I'm all taters and I'm wearing Speedos.
he's just Potatoes and Lead.
Leopard print Speedos with taters.
Potatoes are gratin. WTF out there in SoCal in the side chat.
Rotten.
I'd be WTF and two if I lived in Southern Cali.
I think we
Yeah.
have one more in here.
Texas born and raised here.
Ohio, Texas, Alabama, and no more Ohio.
So, if you guys are, I have a question, though. If you guys are all here, where's the important people at?
I'm here, sir.
No, I meant the important people.
Oh, there must be somewhere else because all of us are deplorables.
Pretty much.
Well, I figure we're already at the third tier if we got Ellis here.
I'm YouTube royalty, sir.
Oh,
Speaking of YouTube royalty, Grim just jumped in the house.
Yeah. So now we got to behave.
Hey.
He will take our lives.
Come on,
All right, everybody.
Ellis.
We don't want to. We don't want to know what you're talking
That
about.
ain't happening.
It wasn't me.
I just picture the Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted every time. We totally just Melvin death, dude.
That is the classic.
That is good.
Reaper from Scrooge. Like Bill Murray's telling him off, hey, big guy. It might work on the ladies, but it'll work on me. So back up.
Back. Well, that's right. Keep it G-rated. All right.
We lost the G
So
rating.
Clover, you were teaching these kids how to reload shotgun shells. For that shotgun's so cheap. Is it just a survival tactic thing, or
What's the price got to do with teaching the kids a skill?
well, wouldn't it be a good skill to learn how to reload something else other than shotgun?
That completely. That depends. Okay, you're talking $20 100. You're talking about gas to drive to town. When you have a company out of California that donates reclaimed shot to us, when you have a local place that donates the powder and the primers, and basically all you got to buy is wads, and you can crank out a box every 5 minutes. It's not that bad of a deal.
Not only that, it's just a good skill to have. You know, you can reload anything in a shotgun shell, glass, rocks, anything.
It's about just learning to do something. You know, it's what it's about.
Right.
It's not really about saving money. Now, I load, but I mean, the reason I load them is, like I said, I mean, if I need a box of shells, then it's 5 minutes, and I've loaded a box of shells. I can't, dude. I live 15 miles from the gas station. You know, I live further than that from the closest place I can buy shotgun shells. So, I mean, I can load a box in 5 minutes. So that's just cool because I ain't got to worry about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not disagreeing that it's a good skill not to have. I mean, it's a good thing for them to learn. I was just kind of fishing there a little bit to figure out what the main thoughts on it were.
Well, gentlemen, I want to interrupt real quick. I want Clover Tech to give me advice, man. You could have got these kids. Like, I'm going to teach you how to do all this stuff, but I would have done like a Mr. Miyagi, show them paint the fence, and stand up floor. And I would have got them to do all kinds of chores around the house that I needed to get done, cut lawn, all kinds of shit done, and then like, yeah, hey, here are your shotgun shells. Now you're gonna learn.
Wax on, wax off.
Kids nowadays, they see through that.
Movie's been out too long.
Yeah, right.
First, grasshopper, you fuck, I can't speak.
That's a classic. When you could snatch the pebble out of my head.
No. See, you guys got it all wrong. You got to go with catching the fly. Got to go with catching the fly.
I'm just going to shoot it.
Fly.
Whichever one you catch.
Clover's got to be running around the house with a shotgun like Peter Griffin trying to catch the fly.
No, what you use to catch the fly may have changed. For example, I may use a 357 or a 44, but I'm still going to catch the fly.
But is your fly open?
See, that's what you use to shoot the fly right there. That's it. That's the fly killer. That'll work for a wasp. It'll work for a fly.
It's not one of those bug assault things.
Oh, yeah.
It's all those damn wasps.
Is that Buck Rogers kind of stuff?
Dude, we put table salt in that sucker, boy. It'll disintegrate just about any bug you shoot with it.
Yeah, you can kill just about anything with those. I have one. I've shot all kinds of things, frickin' spiders, you name it, dude.
Boy, Gary, you got one of them damn things too.
Heck yeah, he does.
Heck yeah.
Well, that's one of them evil insect killers. It's got a grip on it and everything.
Now we're gonna do a desk pop, y'all.
I need to get one of them for my 7.
Watch out, he's got.
All right, Gary.
Let's go for another one. Yeah.
Careful now. You might be getting into full auto. Got to be careful, dude.
Might shoot your eye out.
The ATF has eyes everywhere.
Dude, I will tell you something about mine and about shooting your eye out. I learned I didn't have mine but maybe a couple of days, and it was a wasp. It was a wasp on my ceiling. So I turned that sucker up. He was, I was almost right under it, and I shot my ceiling, and the salt bounced back into my eye. That's no joke, dude. That's tough. You get table salt in your eye.
Had that happen. Yep.
Did you have your camera on for this? Because that is prime for funniest home video.
Oh, yes.
Unfortunately, no.
So everyone just heard that, right? Clover got salted in the face.
It's better than normal.
Assaulted himself in the face.
You might say I was assaulted. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that could have went really bad.
Yeah.
Really could.
It already did.
Oh, well.
Hey, you got to give him points for being brave enough to admit it in front of a live audience.
True.
Yeah, nobody ever accused Clover of not being honest. He's an honest guy.
Clover's an awesome guy, dude. He's a cool cat.
Scottsville just says that because I give him crap. Don't let him fool you. he's bought and paid for.
He's a paid sponsor.
Hey, wait a minute. You have never given any of us anything.
And welcome to the part of the show where we thank our sponsors, and our sponsor is Clover.
So what's going on with this whole Yankee Marshall deal? I heard there's a steel cage match and then come down.
Oh yeah.
What? Hey, did you see
Eric and Mickey and Bob?
Did you see? I used to. I don't know. I've sort of maybe lost it just a little bit, but I used to have a little bit of respect for Hank Strange. But I just run across his video from a couple of days ago talking about this.
Oh yeah.
He was so wrong because he's like, oh, I know Eric and them, and Eric, they risk their life. They risk their life, and they spend the, and he burns up all of these guns, like melts the barrels, and he spent the money on these guns. And I'm thinking, Hank, you know better than that. Eric ain't paying for those guns. People are giving him those guns, and he's melting the barrels on them. Don't tell people that.
Yeah.
First of all, dude, Hank Strange got kicked out of a SHOT Show like a year ago. Because if you ever watch the beginning of SHOT Show, he has like the Gun America jersey on, and he's going around representing Guns America. But then he was going around, from what I heard from a source, I can't reveal the source, but that he was going around with basically, hey, send us guns, and they're like, okay, dude, get out of here, send us guns at the range day when they go out and shoot, and he's being so fucking arrogant about it. Eventually, they asked him. SHOT Show.
They enter community.
Wow. But another industry person that he's one of those people that kind of feeds the that how are you going to really trust, especially when somebody who hasn't. I'll give Yankee Marshall credit. I'm not a fan of him. I used to have agreed with him a little more back in the day, but. Kind of lost my way of watching his videos, but I think he has a point, and I'm down with what he has going on. Iraq Veteran 88 is what it is, man. I don't really didn't really care that much about. I watch some of his videos every now and then, but it did turn into enterprise nevertheless, and good for him if he's going to do that. There's nothing wrong, like you said. There's nothing wrong with making some money doing it, but don't try to mask what your angle is.
Yeah. Own that crap, man. Own it. I mean, it's your channel. If you want to do something on it or whatever, just do it. You don't have to pretend that you're somebody you're not. Come out and say, hey, these people gave me these guns. I'm going to burn up the barrel on one. Hey, the NRA gives me money. Whatever. I'm doing this because so and so gives me money. there's no sense in hiding behind, some kind of crap like some little channel that doesn't make big money and people don't give you crap every time you turn around.
I'm sorry, real quick. I never appreciate like when you're like media pundits, like on the big networks, where they try to they're trying to act like, okay, if this can happen, it can affect all of us. First of all, you're a fucking millionaire many times over. Most of these pundits that are on MSNBC, CNN, Fox News Network, these guys make millions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars. Yeah. But they're trying to equate themselves with the average guy. Like, how can you? You don't live in the same world. It's like John McCain not knowing what it costs to fill up a tank of gas costs, because he doesn't have to fill it up. He's so rich off his wife's empire that he doesn't have to really worry about a gas cost because he doesn't even drive. When they try to equate themselves to you, like, we're looking out for you.
Yeah,
I mean, I put them in the same book, same book as those other people. Like, okay, well, how the fuck you know? You don't freaking know. You don't know what's going on because you don't fill up your own tank of gas. You don't make lunch for your kids. You don't change your baby's diapers. You don't drive your kids to school. You have people to do that all for you, but yet you want to sit there and equivocate yourself to the commoner, the guy who wakes up every day and has to get up, wake up early, change his kids' diapers, drive his kid to school, try to save a little on, making his lunch, go to work, so he doesn't have to buy, and go and eat, in a restaurant. And you want me to have some kind of, platitude with you that it's equal to me.
Eating in a restaurant. What is that? I don't know what you're talking about there.
Are you talking about the place with the dollar menu?
There's no dollar.
Is that those buildings? Is that those buildings where you go in and they cook the food for you and give it to you for money? What is a restaurant?
Is that when I come home to cook for my kids?
Yeah, they tell you, hey son, you want some lunch? You gotta head out there. We'll feed you on front.
Well, Edge, just so you know, you don't have to censor yourself. I don't give a fuck what they say about.
So you're like the Smokey. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. But you know what? You're right. You know what? Just be sincere. That's what bugs me about it. If you're gonna make money, fine. You got a family to feed. Yay, team! But don't act like you're. Don't act like you're sticking up for us when you're not. Like Edge just said, I mean, hell, like Clover said, a restaurant. Can you imagine me taking all 7 of us out to the restaurant? There goes a paycheck.
Hey, my wife and I went to this restaurant. What was it? It was Friday night. It was after was it after the Friday show? Yeah, it was after my Friday show. We went out to a restaurant. Y'all have heard of this place? I think it's gourmet. It's very expensive. Taco Bell. Heard of that? Man, I'll tell you, that joint's expensive. You better watch out.
That's some high living stuff.
I'm telling you.
Right there.
I felt kind of bad for those that give me money on Patreon and stuff that, they do that. And here I am eating in this big expensive joint like that.
Oh, man.
Because I did get the what is that? The fried chicken quesadilla that was I'm telling you, it was $1.99 on the menu, dude. I mean, I splurged.
And you got a big deal.
You better send it.
I did.
It's
my wife got that big box special.
See,
I'm telling you. I mean, we were living high on the hog. I felt so bad, because I'm this poser, and it's
send a piece of the tortilla to your patrons.
I just had to come clean, y'all. I had to come clean about that. We were talking about Eric and all this other stuff, and I just want everybody to know that yes, Friday night. We did go do that, and I apologize to everybody out there.
Well, hold on.
That I went for the first time in months, and we went and ate at Taco Bell because that's a place that should be reserved for anniversaries or something only. It really
is. It's a special place when your order's ready and they call your name or number for you to actually go get your meal from them. That's some high class living right there.
No. You could have taken her to Whataburger, and like, sorry, we usually don't do this, but we're gonna splurge this time. We're going to Whataburger. And guess what? You don't have to order the water this time.
Dude, you joke about that, but I'm not kidding you. To me, Whataburger is splurging, dude. That's like primo stuff to go to Whataburger.
Wait a minute. What about Golden Corral, for crying out loud?
Oh man, that's
Golden Corral.
That's on like a silver anniversary or something.
You know when Golden Corral happens, Gary? When Grandpa invites the kids to go to when he says, "Oh yeah, let me take the kids out." No problem. Thanks for picking up the bill.
Yeah, Golden Corral, that's something to be had like on the 10, 15, or 20-year anniversary mark. I've never eaten at Golden Corral.
Yeah, I never made it that far, and I probably never will. I don't intend ever putting that damn ring on ever again. So yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But Five Guys is pretty good.
I do enjoy Five Guys.
There's 3 rings of marriage: the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffer ring.
Well, I think I skipped the first 2 and just went straight to the fucking suffering.
There's one thing. I don't know how it started. She bitches because I drink, or I bitch because she drink. Or I drink because she bitches.
Yeah, that's like the chicken before the egg right there. I just don't know which one started that, but that's typically the thing. And because she complains, you end up drinking more, and she ends up drinking. You complain because she don't drink, maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's not to smother her when you pass out on bed. Incredible smothering your wife.
Hey, Graham, are you about done with them Cheetos or what, man?
Yeah, dude, you're freaking chowing down, dude. What the hell?
Hey,
That's because of Midnight's chat. I'm starving, and it's almost midnight here.
You're gonna wake up to Becker.
It's almost 1 here.
Yeah, it's almost fucking 1 a.m., dude. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Yeah, I was able to jump in right at the last couple of minutes of Midnight's chat. I was actually kind of hoping to join in on that and make it a gun chat rather than a food chat. Were you successful in any of those fronts there, Clover?
No, we did. We started changing it at the end.
But he conveniently had to shut it down at that point.
Yes. So. Then he all of a sudden said, "Oh, I gotta go."
Never
it
around
was
for
like
that
I walked in the room and he went, "Oh shit, my kid's awake. I gotta go." Like, oh, I see how it
is. There are three ways to kill a chat real quick to where it was off air, and I've done one. And, you have to look that up. I can't give it away.
Dead air.
Dead end. How did the Pink Panther say? What did it say on the
All right, now that's not me.
You fucking working, rubbing one out? Yeah, come on now. Get up.
Hands are right here.
Someone is.
Yeah, mute that shit, buddy. You want everybody hearing you blow your face up.
Yeah, someone said that in the last chat. Something about dry. Always dry. Do it dry.
It's called rub, people. Use it.
You call it dry rub.
See, now we need John in here. John with his lotion. I don't know where he got on that lotion thing.
So I understand Yankee's going to be a SHOT Show.
That's who we need for this is Bob.
Oh God.
Bob.
Is he on? Does he want in? If he wants in, I'll gladly jump out if there's not room.
There's plenty of room here.
just to listen to Bob. I'll yeah.
Hey, Clover, you can't jump out.
No, the best is
I'll
when
do what I want to do. Well, you
For
ain't
the
my,
Good
you
Channel
ain't,
Steve.
hey, you ain't even my real dad.
Come on.
You ain't Nicky Marshall.
Yeah. Who is it that says I sound like him? That was Bob, I think.
No, you sound like Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy, you're nothing like the wanky there.
Hey, did you see my reply to Ghost Tactical when I was like, get her, we got to, now let's get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done. Did it Texas style.
I threw that in there specifically for everybody that has said that.
Clover says certain things, and I have yet to figure out what they are, but he says certain things, and he sounds just like Yankee. I'll be in the other room listening to it, and it's like, what the hell? And I'll pop in and see it's Clover.
Is it the tone? Is it what I say, or is it like the rhythm of my voice or something?
I don't know, man. I can't pin it down yet.
Well, I have to
I
pick
think I know what it is.
Southeast Texas.
I know what it is. I think it's that draw.
No, Clover's draw is Southeast Texas, like Beaumontish, Lufkin.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about 40 miles a little northwest of Lufkin.
Yeah, that's where I've heard that draw like over and over again, man, and it's unique. I'm South Texas as well, but
Landron says that I sound like a Southern Yankee, and here's the thing with that. I tend to use big words sometimes, and I'm wondering if it's not my accent or my drawl, and then using the combination of that and using a big word.
well, Yankees did the same thing in the chat a long time ago. I think I used the word amicable. He's like, where the hell you learn that big word from? Where you learn that big word from? Did you look it up? It's like whatever.
Yeah, occasionally Clover says something, and I gotta Google it.
Yeah, I'm flipping through the thesaurus right now.
Well, we were watching a movie, my wife and I earlier, and there's a word called interloper. What does interloper mean?
Interloper. Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's be honest. It's all about the pipe, man. It's because he smokes a pipe. He's a little bit more. He's a little bit more defined because he smokes a pipe.
It's all all of my SAT verbal skills came from smoking a pipe. Yes, you're correct.
Is it a cop pipe or just
so fancy? You need a second monocle.
You gotta have a cop pipe.
You got a cop pipe, all right.
These guys are a little bit more above the cop pipe, even though I know Clover was looking to pick up a whole bunch of cop pipes for a bunch of cheap money. But yeah, these guys got some nice pieces of wood hanging out their mouth. I won't say how that pertains to anything, but they got wood hanging out their mouth.
I was once a word that I used the word discombobulated, and they're like, "That's not a word."
Discombobulated. I love it. Discombobulated. Hey, I used draconian the other night, and then somebody got all over me. They were like, "Draconian? What?" I'm like, "Come on."
I said that one day at work, and somebody goes, "What'd you call me?"
You're not Dracula.
I was like, the nomenclature. What the fuck you just say?
I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your
nomenclature.
This people's head back. We're for Texas, y'all. I'm like, I am too.
It's the word chat.
Well, I told people I could use words all day.
Scrabble with any of you motherfuckers.
Oh, very few people will play Scrabble with me, or like words from friends, or whatever the crap that was. It was popular or something, or everybody.
Words from friends.
They quit accepting my requests. They were like, "Oh hell no, we ain't playing with them."
Like transvestites not spelled that way.
You mean that's not spelled?
Hey, wait a minute.
K-E-E?
Yeah, we used to have. When the kids were small, all of my baby's in college now, but when the kids were, so I don't want to say when they were smaller, but when they were all living at home, we would have game night, and sometimes their friends would come over, and sometimes we would have other friends and their kids, and sometimes it was my brother and their kids or something, and we would, have game night. And whenever we did Scrabble, after about 2 game nights that we did Scrabble, they finally quit even questioning whether or not my thing. I could make up a word literally because they never would even challenge it because they got tired of challenging stuff. They got tired of looking in the dictionary.
Yeah, as long as you give me my cell phone, I'll play you Scrabble all day long because I just don't know how to spell with this shit. I used to drive a truck for a living.
My dad's got a degree in political science and can't spell the word glad.
Just sound it out in your head.
He says glade every time. GLADE every time.
I have 2 different degrees and still have to Google how to spell necessary.
Necessary. Yeah.
My dad has taught how to run CNC machines to Japanese, runs computer lathe controlled machines all the time. He can't balance a checkbook for shit. He can do trigonometry backwards and forwards, but you have him do simple back and forth math on a checkbook, can't do it.
Mm-hmm. See, I can't say shit because I can't spell worth of shit. So
yeah, people can't spell nincompoop.
Nincompoop.
Spell check has ruined a lot of people.
You know what?
Well, hell,
I know people that can't spell so bad that spell check doesn't even help them because you got to be at least kind of close, and they can't even get kind of close.
That's true.
I swear, I know people like that.
When spell check
I'll probably resemble some of that because some of the words I'll come up with, it's just like, I know the word, I know the definition, I can't figure out how to spell it to save my fucking ass.
That's when you look for a different word, don't you?
Well, how often do people write anymore?
Well, I was telling my I was surprised when my daughter told me she's 13, but when she's going through like grade school, that they don't even teach cursive anymore.
No, they don't.
Cursive is,
I was going to bring up the same point. They don't teach cursive. I learned that a long time ago. I write cursive all the time, and it's people look at it and they'll be like, "What the hell does that say?"
well, she used to do like her block text. She write in like a freaking crazy man, and I told her like people were always we were like grilled on our penmanship as a kid. Your penmanship has to be so appropriate and so proper to be legible to be read. If you can't do it proper, then nobody's going to listen or read what you say. Blah 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 blah. Blah. And that's she's like, Dad, they don't teach us cursive anymore. I'm like, what?
Does anybody else hate people that can't say phrases correctly? Like the people that go, I caught you. The gig is up, and I'm like, the what is up? And they're like, the gig is up, and I'm like, you realize that's the jig is up, right? The jig is meaning the dance is over. The jig is up, right?
Oh, no, regardless.
No, it's gig. It's like the gig, like you have a band, and they've got them like, no, or here it is, and they go for all intensive purposes, and I'm like, is that like in the hospital? Is that a section?
My sister is the worst for that.
Purposes. You mean intense and purposes? Is that what you mean?
Clover?
Yeah.
Or is it that other one that I could care less? Or,
I could care less. I love it. I could care less. Really? You could
literally?
I couldn't care less.
Literally?
Yeah,
I couldn't care less. If you couldn't care less, that
they called Hillary out on that one when she said that one.
Just reminds me of the Back to the Future movies. Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Hey guys, take a look at this.
Holy shit!
What?
How many of them you got stacked on there?
Jesus.
What was that?
That's
I think this guy's
Are you serious?
42.
What?
Well, I think Iggy Marshall.
Crazy.
I think Iggy Marshall will sign it.
Add it to your card, Ellis.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's 48 people watching it.
I was gonna say Yankees
6
signed it.
available, and they've already sold 10.
What I want to know is there
Come
like
on.
inside it or what?
Use Clover's
That's
credit card.
that-
He's good for it.
It better be full of some damn nice guns.
I get
Guns,
it.
it better have gold in it.
I get it. That's pesos.
Well, you know what? You know what they do?
Yeah.
They put so many in their little store, And what they do is then they turn around and they after they sell up you
Oh
at
yeah.
whatever little price, then they go in and they'll change the price on it.
To see if someone bites.
No, no.
See if accidentally somebody clicks buy it now.
That one's gonna be somebody. Marshall and
You
Eric.
don't want that one-click ordering turned on when that shit.
Ouch.
Son of a bitch.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I seen that price. I was like, no, something ain't right.
Right? You think?
What was your first clue?
I seen that on a. I was looking at earlier at inverters, different inverters that had USBs and stuff, and the same one that was, I don't know, it was like $14.99 or something, and I was just scrolling through, and it was the exact same one. It was like $12,000 something, and I'm like, what? So yeah, same deal.
Well, I've seen that too, but I was looking at, perfect Colts.
Right.
With all these.
Is there one in there?
Hey, maybe that's safe. Maybe we just didn't read. Maybe
Yeah.
it's full of guns. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
I don't know, but who the hell has the cookies and why ain't they sharing?
right.
It's Grim.
Not
He's
I.
still backing down on them damn Cheetos.
No,
I think this is Alan. What
I
the hell is
wish.
up with this, man? I get on your chat, dude, and everyone's just freaking munching away on shit.
Ain't that?
I wish.
I ought to send this guy a message.
This is a post mid-range chat. Mid-range is a chef, and so he does this food chat thing. And we were gonna go in and bombard him and try and turn it into a gun chat because every chat that he comes into, he turns into a food chat.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna stop this and something southern out there. He gave me the perfect phrase to stop this. I'm gonna nip it in the butt.
Barney Fife.
Oh, I found out why that gun, the safe is so expensive. It's free shipping.
There you go.
Where, the Philippines?
Oh, from China.
They install,
Oh.
No shipping to Alaska, no shipping to Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, the Virgin Islands, no shipping to Canada or Mexico. Bob's going to be pissed.
Bob's gonna be
Well, you know what? Shipping legitimately costs that much when it has to come from the fourth ring of Uranus. Okay.
Uranus. Yeah, that's always interesting.
There's a John Z joke in this. I just know it.
Yeah.
I need a gun case, but I'm a cabinet, but I'm not paying $40,000 for one.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah, you can either buy yourself a nice gun safe or not have any guns. And
I've got guns.
best idea I've ever heard on the internet. Give a Hatfield a gun. Yep. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
We can trust them.
there's nothing wrong with a Hatfield owning a gun. Just
As
don't
far as I can throw them.
he goes to fill out his federal form and he puts down Hatfield and they're like, "Sorry, sir, we can't do that."
We've had that.
Here's the thing.
He's on the federal no-buy list.
Yeah, the no-fly list.
You just can't fuck with the woman, the pig, or the land. And we're good.
And what's fucked up is in some crazy way I'm related to you.
It's a good thing. Be glad about that.
Why would anybody admit that, though? That's
Well,
It's
no,
like, who's daddy? Who's daddy? Who's daddy?
some shit, man. We're not talking like
Who's daddy is who's daddy.
Gary, do me a favor.
what's that?
I want you to stick your tongue out, walk over to the door, and slam it on it about 10 times.
That's not very Christian of you, sir.
hey, a couple more months and he can try the flagpole.
Good.
No, hey Gary, shoot your tongue with that little bug assault.
That only works if you've got some tequila shots, man.
That sounds like I'll hold my beer and watch this moment.
Hey, I wonder if
Oh no!
NEA would do it for some money.
Any ale for some money.
That'd be an idea.
Especially after he's already been drinking.
Yeah.
Desk pop, sure, great idea.
Hey, Alan left. Looks like Tank is chat. That could be great. Oh, he's back. Dang it, he's back.
Oh, that was fast.
He's back.
No. It's already tanked. I'm not sure if it can get any worse.
We started out in the tank.
Yeah, I'm the one that started the chat.
Yeah, you asked for this.
Well, hey, after that first 3-hour one, you've got a pretty high bar to live up to.
Yes.
Well, luckily we got ourselves a full room. We can't get Ghost in here, so it can't get that bad.
Oh, there's one spot.
Oh yeah, there's a spot open.
There's yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta shut the
Where's
link off.
Ghost? Yeah, man, you left it open. RL had lost their connection and bailed out.
Night Strike is green in the gun channels chat.
Come on, Night Strike, get your butt in here. Come on.
Just saying.
There's a
Come on,
space.
now, Hank.
He's the only one green.
Come on now, Hank. Man, come on, dude. Come on, Hank. Come on. Get me, Hank.
Come on, Mike.
All right.
What the hell we got?
Yeah, my name.
Propane next?
Propane.
I was
Propane.
actually past Night Strike's bedtime, so
Propane or butane?
Oh, that
probably
Bud Light.
Yeah, he's got to put that beard to bed. It needs some beauty rest.
Well, then they grow, man. This is the beauty right here.
that's not a beard. That's not even close to a beard.
That's pretty piss poor pathetic, man. Just saying.
I'm half Indian.
Days of not shaving.
I'm half Indian, so I can't grow a beard.
Ah, look, we said his name 3 times. We said his name 3 times.
We might have said it 3 times.
No, Alan BePro posted the link in the Gun Channels law vid. I'm like, well, if I'm getting an invite, I mean, he called me out.
You got the very last spot.
Well,
How privileged are you, white boy?
Hey, careful with that boy biz. He might get offended, boy.
Here's the thing. Now I've got 2 cousins in here.
I don't know.
Are they cousin uncles or cousin brothers or cousin?
So if you've got 2 cousins in there, then you can have a West Virginian menage a trois.
No, they only do that with Cajuns and only in Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly.
And only on the 3rd Tuesday of the month.
And the viewership goes up.
No, it's not the 3rd Tuesday of the month. It's every Mardi Gras.
What do you call?
Yeah, sure.
What do you call a North Carolina virgin?
Fast. Easy.
System with no brothers.
Hey, y'all know that the toothbrush was invented in Virginia, right?
West Virginia.
Invented anywhere else, it would have been called a teeth brush.
Exactly.
Ow.
Well, it could have been Kentucky, to be fair.
I'll give you that one, man. It could have been Kentucky. That's true.
Yeah, the only good thing out of Kentucky is bourbon.
No, horse racing.
And them with the chicks.
Bourbon, horse racing, and KFC.
That explains all my family.
I have actually been to the first Kentucky Fried Festival.
I've never understood
I've
how
been there too.
I've never understood people in Kentucky claim to be from the South.
Well, apparently it was claimed by the South or something like that.
No, but I watching on a MasterChef. I watch all the seasons, and there's one girl who became actually won the MasterChef. She's like, "Well, I go back to my Southern roots." I'm like, Kentucky isn't above Tennessee.
It's still south of the Mason-Dixon line, so it counts.
Depending on who you ask, the lower half of Ohio is southern.
It's the same way. It's the same way in West Virginia.
I argue on that Ohio part.
Well, so do I. But there are thousands of people.
West Virginia, they'll tell you the rivers.
Like, I'm from the south part of Brooklyn. Come on now.
I don't think they teach geography in school either.
I don't think so.
Southern.
Well, have you seen the math? It's like 1 + 1 = whatever the hell you put down, as long as it doesn't hurt your feelings.
Oh, it's the 4 fruit. I seen that the other day. When my kids were doing math. I'm like, what the hell does fruit have to do with adding?
Well, I
And none of the fruit were the same either.
Low hanging. I don't know. Just guess.
Well, yes.
as you be living in San Antonio, which is southern Texas, that we don't have the southern roots. Like you have to like hit like the southeast part of Texas, like Beaumont, past Houston, Orange, and so on. We start to get like that whole southern, like, whatever you want to call it.
I'll tell you what, even then, it's not real prevalent.
No, it's there nevertheless. I was there for 2 weeks for a loan company, and good lord, dude, I was like, man, there ain't any Mexicans cutting fucking lawns around here. It's that bad. And I was like, good lord. It was black and white community, and it made me feel so uncomfortable working there for like 2 weeks. I was like, wow, I'm out of my element. And it's just, as you go, it's funny, as you go further down, like when you go towards like Florida, one time in 2005 I went to Florida, Orlando, and you just keep going and going and going. And man, fucking boiled peanuts. Good lord, dude.
Boiled peanuts.
Fucking boiled
Don't even
peanuts.
get me started on boiled peanuts. That shit's
Boiled
nasty.
peanuts are disgusting.
Disgusting.
Oh, they're prevalent in every gas station you can fucking find.
I know.
hit Louisiana on, and I was like, I remember we were in this one place. I think it was Mobile. We're outside of Mobile, and I called my son, "Hey, John boy, let's go." Fucking, he was like 7 foot tall black man wearing overalls and the white shirt. Where are we going? Nowhere, sir. Nowhere, sir. I'm like, well, yes, you called my name. That's John boy. That's my name. I'm like, sir, thank you. I'm happy it's the same name as my son. We're not going anywhere. But thank you. We're leaving now. Fucking car. Get the fucking car. None of the fact that he's black. It's just weird that I said, "Hey, John boy, get in the car now. Let's get going." Where are we going?
Reminds me of that episode of Top Gear where they're writing shit on each other's car and they're driving through the Bible Belt.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one.
They're writing like NASCAR sucks and gay shit and all kinds of stuff on each other's cars. Just trying to see who can get whose ass kicked.
NASCAR sucks. That'll start a fight.
That will start a fight in the South.
That
will
would.
start a fight.
I was in Louisiana.
Later, Scotsman.
I was in Louisiana.
Take it
filling
easy,
up.
guys.
Have a good one.
Later.
I was in Louisiana, now it's Louisiana, and I was filling up and getting some gas and whatnot, and I heard this lady in the background. Nah, Sheriff, you need to come down this time. It's for real. No, I know my daughter starts all kinds of shit, but it's for real this time, Sheriff. You need to come down. She's hurt real bad. That boy just messed her up real good, Sheriff. You need to come down. Now, it's for real this time. And my kids were like, "What's happening, Daddy?" I'm like, just never mind that shit. Just get in the car. Get the fuck out of here. No, for real this time, Sheriff. It's happening. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. But I did fall in love with New Orleans, I'll tell you that. When I went to New Orleans, it took me a day or two, but I did fall in love with New Orleans. I fucking love New Orleans.
South is the only place where you can get into a fight over having the wrong number on your car.
Let me ask you this, you guys are on here. Would say you don't, or you do, I don't know, everybody's vehicle. You got a nice truck, you got a shitty truck, you got a shitty car, whatever. Would you put a Trump sticker on your car?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a Trump supporter, if you will, not a cheerleader. But would you put that knowing that someone's gonna fuck up your shit?
Yeah, I've got a $1,200 car. I'd put it on my car any day of the week.
I've got a 99 FMC with 250,000 miles on it. Of course, not some big ass mutters. So if they can reach the window, they're welcome to knock it out.
Yeah. So
I don't put any stickers outside of my car.
Alan has an '85 Nissan Stanza that he's burning.
Yeah, and it smokes like a bitch too.
So do you. So do you, Alan. So do you.
I know it's dear to my heart.
No, I was saying you smoke like a bitch too.
Oh,
That's fire.
He's like 6'8", trying to get out of that car.
What do you smoke? Menthols?
Oh,
Newports, right?
Newport 100s.
Oh shit! American Spirits. That's
Almost
even worse.
American Spirit.
Almost $10 a pack where I'm at.
He's on Brooklyn.
It would have been hilarious if you pulled out the menthol version, because that would have just proved my point.
Well, it is blue. It's usually blue or green for menthol, right?
With the American Spirits, it's like green. It's like either light green or dark green, I think.
What neck of the woods you from?
Light green or dark green on the menthols, but when it comes to American Spirits, I was a Marlboro smoker, and I stopped smoking Marlboros, and I started smoking American Spirits, and I started on their blacks, which is like stout as hell, and then I went to their dark blues, which that even got too strong, and now I'm on the light blues, and they're just about right for me. They still got like 4 or 5 others that are lighter than that. But the light blues seem to be doing it for me.
Did he just say he was putting black between his lips?
Ow.
I was putting black American Spirits between my lips.
No,
Yep.
But he likes when it's blue.
He was washing it down with Southern Comfort. It's all right.
Oh, just trying to sterilize it.
You remind me of people when I used to smoke red, and I was smoking reds, and they're smoking lights, Marlboro lights. They're like, dude, that shit's gonna kill you, bro. As they're taking a drag, I'm like, whatever, fuck it.
And Alan, I would just mess with you. I wasn't being serious. The fact that you just pulled out American Spirits just made it even better.
Alan,
He's paying $10 a pack.
Well,
Alan,
it's his fault he's paying $10 a pack. I'm not paying any dollars a pack because I stopped smoking 10 years ago.
Alan,
I tried to stop smoking, and then everyone around me is like, here, have some cigarettes.
That's why you can't go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, I would quit smoking, but nobody likes a quitter.
Exactly. Alan, what part of the country you from?
I am currently residing in Iowa.
Oh, shit.
Shit, we got a Yankee here.
Hey,
He says his S is just fine. He's not a Yankee.
out in Tater.
What about Edge?
Oh, shit. Texas all the way.
Yeah.
Edge,
They're
don't
feeling
take this the wrong way, but you're about as southern as George Lopez.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow. Well.
Well, see, I can pull a draw if I want to. Now, come on now. You want me to hear that?
Wow, that is awful. Nice try.
That was pretty bad.
Now. Well, I can't stand in
say
Georgia.
oil is the question. How do you say oil?
All.
Don't forget the worst.
It's all.
Worse.
It's in Georgia. I can't stand there. Like,
All.
in Georgia.
I can't even try and make it sound like Clover makes it sound. All.
The O-I meshes together and it's all.
Yeah, I always like make it sound like it starts with an A and all.
Oil.
No, it's not all.
It's not all. That's detergent.
Clover isn't that bad, but there are other people in Texas. Oh my fucking god!
I've heard people at the outskirts like, "Hey, what's the dealio? What's that deal there? What's that deal?" They call it a deal. I'm like, "What's that deal there?"
That dealio.
Well, no, some people call it a deal like on the outskirts in the ranch parts of the country. They'd be like, "Well, what's that deal there? What's going on that deal? What's over that deal?" I'm like, as far as I know, I don't give a shit. It comes out every now and then, just depending who you're around. It's like when I hang around Canadians long enough, I used to back in the day when in chats, the fucking holes start coming out too. Like, what the fuck?
I hate vague people. I just want to slap them. It's like, hey, I'm looking. Do you know where this is at? Oh yeah, it's over there. It's like over there.
Over there.
Right over there.
What the crap
Turn
is
left
over
of the
there?
tree.
Or how about over yonder?
Over yonder. Crap.
Past them dar hills.
I'm not even talking about directions. I'm talking about my wife.
Dirt road to the left of the stump.
It's a wonder my wife has not spent a night in the women's shelter, because I'll ask her where something's at and she'll go, it's in yonder or it's over there. I'm like,
My wife will say,
that
hand me the thing, or did you get the thing? And I'm like, what thing?
Oh, yeah.
The thing.
Away.
The thing.
My wife pulled that
There's
tonight.
a lot
My
of
wife
things.
pulled that crap. My wife pulled that crap tonight. She was like standing there in the bedroom, and I got home from the 4-H stuff, and she's like, "Oh yeah," she said. She said, "Come in here. I want to show you my new thing." And I'm like,
Oh,
Well, hey.
wow.
I got all excited. And,
Then you got disappointed.
yeah, a little bit.
You're like, damn. I thought it was something else, honey.
Like, well, hey.
My wife told me one time, it's like, hey, do you want to go? Do you want to go to this thing? I'm like, no, not really. I'm so crazy about it. Maybe. So what does maybe mean? I text her back. Google maybe. She didn't like that shit.
Yeah, they hate maybe. I know my other half does.
No, but she does like, what does maybe mean? I'm like, Google maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, no.
We touched a little bit on directions there, and I actually have a pretty good story. I was moving into this city, small town, and I called this gal on the phone to get directions to this rental place that she had available. I seen in the ad, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you just head down Highway 294 until you see the big heifer and you turn left." And I said, "Ma'am, a heifer?" She goes, yeah, a female cow. And I said, yes, ma'am, I understand what a heifer is. A heifer, ma'am? Yeah, it's on top of the building over there. There's a heifer on top of a building. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. There's a heifer on top of a big, giant heifer on the top of the building. You can't miss it. You turn left. I said, ma'am, I understand what a heifer is. I don't think I've ever seen one on the top of a building. And you're telling me to turn left at an animal that typically walks around a field. I don't think I know where you're speaking about. Oh, no, it's a statue of a heifer on the top of a building. Oh, okay. Well, you got to clarify these things, man, because I just don't know.
I got a good one too. That's like that. We were on our archery range out here, and it's just a few miles from where I live. It's like deeper back into the nowhere woods, So I had a lady call. We're doing archery practice. She called. She's like, I can't find y'all. And I'm like, okay. She says, can you help me? And I said, yeah. I said, I'll tell you what, next intersection you get to, I said, where a road comes in, because she didn't know where she was at. I said, next time you get to any kind of intersection to where a road is coming in, or it's a 4-way or a T or whatever, I said, stop. I said, and I can help you. So she said, okay. She goes, okay, I'm stopped. And I said, okay. I said, now what are you looking at? And she goes, well, there's a road goes straight. She said, and there's another road that tees in from the right. And I'm like, okay. Well, there's a barbed wire fence on your left. She's like, yeah, there's a barbed. I said, okay, is it 3 or 4 strands? She said, 2, 3. I can hear count. She said, it's 4 strands. I said, okay. I said, now look to the right. I said, at the corner. I said, not the corner you're sitting on, but the opposite corner. I said, look to your right. Is there some old tires in the ditch over there? And she's like, yeah, there is. I said, okay, go on down to the next place and next road and turn right. She shows up at the place and she's like, I've never had directions like that in my life. Like, yep, that's East Texas directions right there.
When G-Webs was in San Antonio with me, he was like, because like I guess in Tucson where he's at, they have a simple highway system, and San Antonio is the 7th largest city in the United States. And he's like, dude, these turnarounds are fucking awesome. Because like when you get to any intersection, it's a turnaround. and on any major highway. And it's like, these turnarounds are fucking awesome, dude. I'm like, yeah, they're pretty cool. I guess, whatever, dude. He's like, yeah, but we don't have these. I'm like, well, we live in a small town, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, we have turnarounds. Pretty decent highway system. That's when Bob was like saying, "Oh, the traffic sucks here. It's horrible." I'm like, "It's the 7th largest city in the United States, Bob. What the fuck do you want? It's not fucking, mom and pop Mayberry, where Cooter's gonna be, help you down the road."
Oh no, it gets worse. Go up into New England, they have roundabouts.
Oh yeah, screw that.
Yeah, those fucking things.
We got traffic circles.
What the hell they're supposed to do at them either?
Yeah.
Oh, we used to have clover leaves till they got rid of clover leaves to get off of one intersection or one highway to merge to another. Days on clover leaves, where it basically was like a big little loop you do to merge another one. And they got rid of all those and got on those big, because they congest highway. So they made these big fucking now ramps. You go like way up in the sky and come down. And then we also, another term we use here is called, they call them, not feeder roads, what do they call them? Fucking access roads. We call them access roads, like the road the access that's on the side of the highway. Other places, they call them feeder roads, and I don't know what you can clue me in on what they call them in your parts, but they call them access roads here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what they call them here.
Yeah. You got them
We don't have no such thing. Just saying.
They call it frontage roads up here.
It's
frontage
dirt,
road.
It's dirt, it's blacktop, and then very, very rarely we have asphalt. So, I mean, that's pretty much it.
In Joshua, Texas, we had one paved road.
I say you're forgetting about Caliche.
The what? Caliche?
Yeah, Caliche roads.
Someone
Yeah,
give
Caliche
me
road.
that
Yeah.
link.
You've never been, man, to like a get together when somebody invites you to a ranch and like you get to like the point where you're supposed to enter like off the road, and then it's like another 10 minutes to 20 minutes to get to the ranch because you have to follow these paths that are split off the ranch. It's Clover Tech, I mentioned, has something to talk about that, where like, okay, you have to turn off, and then now you're entering the one part of the property, and then like it's like another 10 to 20 minutes before you hit the ranch, because of all the cutoffs that they have to all different properties. That's the way it is here in South Texas, man.
Yeah, you talk about roads. We've got. In fact, I was scrolling through my Facebook earlier and seen it. There's a lady, the little community I live in here. There's a lady that moved in here from Mississippi, I want to say, or something. And I mean, moved from the city, like a big city, and moved over here like to take care of her mom or something. But anyway, I seen a Facebook post from her earlier. Apparently, we got mutual friends or something. I don't know why it was showing up. And anyway, she was throwing a fit, boy, about the dirt roads and the condition of the dirt roads and all this other crap, and how she's wrote the newspaper and how somebody needs to fix these roads. And she was getting jumped all over by the people that live here because she was taking pictures, of how bad supposedly the roads were. And, dirt roads, I mean, if you don't live on dirt roads, you don't know that. But, when it rains and stuff, they'll washboard. And sometimes they'll bring the road graders and stuff through there. But, I mean, they got miles and miles and miles of road to mess with. So, yeah, they were jumping all over her about, she needs to take her, maybe she needs to take her mom and move back to the city over in Mississippi where she came from if she can't handle the roads here, because that's just part of living here. Anyway, I got a chuckle out of it.
We have construction all the time, so I wouldn't mind a dirt road. Hell, bigger potholes, concrete, 5 lanes go to 1. Hell, I wish I had a shoulder to take my Yukon into, and just go 4-wheeling. I can see where I need to go to, but I got to go like a mile around to get there.
We have almost winter, still winter, and construction.
Yes. That's what it is. And roundabouts, we've been getting roundabouts here and there, and God forbid anyone know how to drive.
No, nobody knows what the hell to do with
Dude,
a
I don't know
roundabout.
how to do on a round. I don't know how to use a roundabout.
I was telling G-Web.
People cannot drive in South Carolina. Let me tell you that right now.
But just yield. You go in. You don't stop. Just make sure you don't hit somebody.
Nobody fucking yields anymore, and you even have the sign, and they're like, they get all pissed off, and you give them the fucking finger, the bird. Yeah, they fucking yield. Yeah, fuck off.
48 states
earlier when
Mexico, and nobody can fucking drive anywhere.
You know, Mexico.
We did have G-Web jump in here, and I got a question for G-Web. G-Webs, you've been all over the country as of late. I'm curious as to what locations, in your personal opinion, are the worst to be jumping in and driving at.
What do you mean, like just which roads are the worst?
What's the worst drivers in the areas that you've been as of late?
That's a good one.
Just as an example, I used to drive truck for a living, and the worst drivers that I have dealt with entirely, especially during the winter months, has been in Portland, Oregon. Those people forget how to drive in winter weather every year.
Oh, that's pretty much the same all over.
Yeah. See, my thing, I think that's tougher for me because I was driving a giant van, mostly highway. So right away, and I wasn't driving like rush hour for the most part, right? So I'm driving highway like in the middle of the night. So there just wasn't a lot of people to deal with. But I was also driving 60 to try to get good gas mileage. So I was like that guy. I was the guy everybody was having to pull around. So for me, like I say, I wasn't in traffic enough. And even the only really parts I had traffic were DC and Memphis and I guess Chicago a little bit. But again, because of the times I was driving, I just didn't have to deal with anybody. I would say if I had to answer the question, I can't say with the location as much as a type of driver. And this drives me nuts to no end because I'm driving at 60 miles an hour. For the most part, everybody's just getting around me, right? Either in another lane and I'm not even significant to them, or, they come up behind me and they have to move out of my, go around me. So I'm kind of annoying to some of them. I'm annoying to the trucks for sure. But what the people that bug me the worst were usually chicks, but not always, in some kind of stupid little car. And they would come up behind me texting, right? So they're just used to drafting off of somebody. They're used to just tailgating somebody and spend their 90% of their attention texting. So they'll come up behind me and just park. They're just there. And they're texting because otherwise they'd look up and figure out they're going 60 miles an hour and nobody else is. So, they'll just be behind me for some amount of time and then eventually look up, drive around me as if I somehow did something to them. They'll pass me with such a look on their face, oh, I can't believe what you've done to me.
Mustangs.
I drive behind you for 40 miles and then get pissed off because you're doing 60 miles an hour.
And sometimes their brights are on. They're just right there bugging you the whole time. You're sweating. If I break or something, they're going to get you. And I'm going to have to.
G-Webs, it's all your fault.
So anyway, those are the worst. And those seem to be more of them now than I've ever dealt with. But I'm also driving a van for the first time. So maybe that's just something a van has to deal with.
Well, I was telling them earlier when you were in San Antonio, we were talking about doing the turnarounds at almost every highway intersection, and you were like, "Cool, these are cool." I guess these are what we have, And you're telling me in Tucson, it's kind of more simple.
Arkansas has the best, hands down, with that turn thing to the right. They never have to stop turning right. They only ever yield, ever, in the whole state. They don't have to stop to turn right. It's not a thing. That's freaking brilliant.
it adds a whole new degree of fun when you do it in an 80,000-pound truck.
It really does. It makes a big difference when you're pulling a heavy haul and 18 wheeler. It adds a complete different degree to things. There was I've taken an 18 wheeler into downtown Chicago. When you have to stop at a corner to slide the tandems to be able to make the corner, people aren't really all that forgiving.
Nope. And your left leg looks like Arnold by the time you're done with that clutch after going down, what is that, 94?
What about the lot lizards?
Yeah. Say what?
What about the lot lizards?
I didn't have to deal with them very often because my truck didn't stop very often. The only time my truck ever stopped was for fuel, essentially. I was hauling air freight, so I was busy chasing airplanes around the country and trying to get loads that were flying out of the country, and so we never stopped hardly for anything.
Hotel every now and then. Hotel.
Very, very few and far between. Very few and far between. We would hit a roach house, what I call a motel, but not very often at all. Only time we ever get hotels was when the truck went down.
So what's the deal? You leave them running all night because it's better for the truck, or it's cheaper on gas?
Well, diesel truck, you don't want it to stop, so you have to
I'm
leave.
just the truck driver on edge.
Yeah, for the most part, you want to run them all night long, especially during winter. But you run them for the most part because it's actually better for the motor to keep it warm than it is to let it go cold and then fire it back up. There's actually less wear on the motors, and during winter, diesel fuel freezes, turns into a gel, and you do not want to let that happen during winter. I had sister trucks of mine, guys that were driving my trucks, shut the truck down in the middle of winter in Chicago, and I'd have to have it towed into the shop. They have to plug it in to warm the truck back up, take parts off to de-gel the diesel fuel. It's horrendous. So leaving them running actually doesn't have anything at all to do with a mileage consumption, but more of less wear and tear on the vehicle itself.
Diesel trucks also don't heat up like normal gasoline engines. Well, they can stay cool and run, at climate.
Yeah, climate and the atmosphere plays a big factor into that. It's a term called keeping the nose warm, and it's nowadays a lot of companies have auto shutoffs on them, and I don't agree with them, but if you're only running a truck in a certain parts of the country where you're not going to be dealing with any kind of winter at all, the auto shutoffs will let the truck run for a certain amount of time before it shuts down, and that's better than just shutting it down when it's hot and letting it tick itself cool like you would on a car. The motors itself run completely differently than a regular gasoline engine, so it's less wear and tear on the vehicle ultimately.
Yeah, until that shutoff kicks in and you're sleeping in a 100-degree cab.
Oh yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. Because you're living in a tin box. You're living in a tin box and all your stuff's in a bag, and so it could be 80 degrees outside and it'll be 120 in your truck. It gets absolutely horrendous in there. And if you're driving with somebody else, usually they're like dirty bastards anyway. So it turns into like a sweat lodge. It's like living inside of a gym sock.
Yeah, I never drove team, thankfully.
So did you have the truck driver boots? You have the eel?
Well, I drove team for the most part. I drove team. I did drive some solo, but I drove mostly team because of what I did hauling air freight. That truck could not stop. It was a lot of just drop hooks and goes because time frames are always tight when you're driving truck. Your delivery times have to be right on. Some companies won't even let you on their yards if you're too early. And so, but with air freight, they want it their day before yesterday. And so not only were our trucks not stopping, but our trucks were set up really, really well. Running 800 power cats with 18 speed fullers. Everything was peaked and tuned, and them things would go down to the highway at 120 miles an hour with 2 gears to go.
I gotta ask you. The most important question I gotta ask you is: what's the best chicken fried steak you ever had?
So, what's the best what?
Chicken fried steak you had at a truck stop.
Oh, chicken fried steak. That's such a go-to. It was a little tiny hole in the wall in somewhere in Oregon. What was the name of that place? Just a little tiny shithole of a truck stop. It was like in some old house that somebody converted to a truck stop, built a bathroom in the back that was just a trough. It was some old school stuff, but there was this gal in there that was probably in her 80s, and she could make a chicken fried steak that was worth writing home about. Man, where was that freaking town in Oregon? Can't remember the name of it. It saved my life.
I know.
Yeah, it's odd some of the stuff that becomes really another one of the things that particular truck stop had is they always had a crock pot in there, and you never knew how old the stuff was that was in the crock pot, but it was beer brats. And every now and then you'd see somebody walk over and just dump a bottle of Guinness into this thing and throw some more brats in there. And I don't think they ever emptied it out and cleaned it, so it had like all this fermented beer in with all these brats. And those things, if you got the right one, it was excellent. If you got the wrong one, you were going to be in some trouble. They had this nice little snap to the outside of the skin on them, like super juicy beer flavored brats. That was some good shit right there.
Best chili?
When did you drive? What years were you driving?
I started driving in 93 and stopped driving in 2006 or so.
Oh, okay. So have you taken any road trips since you stopped driving?
Yeah, I have. And it was real difficult. I took some road trips with my family, and it was real difficult for them because I'm just like, we just keep going. It's only another 400 miles. They're like, and I'm like, no, it's not that far. You know, it's only going to take us so long to get there. It's completely different in a car. But yeah, I've taken quite a bit of road trips since then. I don't have quite the endurance that I had when I was driving truck. When I was driving truck, I could go for 2 days without even thinking about it.
Well,
but
I never drove professionally or nothing, but I've driven around the country all kinds of times throughout my life, right? And I enjoy it. And back in the day, I don't think there was not like now to compare it to, right? But there was Denny's everywhere. That was the big thing back then. Denny's and McDonald's, of course. But like we were trying not to. Actually, the first time I went on a road trip by myself, we stopped at Denny's way too much, and it was kind of boring. And since then, I've never wanted to go to like chains, right? I want to go to local places. So that's always been a thing. And this last time, like this road trip, it was freaking difficult to find local places. They were literally closed down. So I'm wondering, back when you were driving in the 90s, that was still, in my experience, like before the real impact of all the chains. I mean, there was a McDonald's and a Burger King everywhere, but you could still get a local breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And now I found it difficult to even find local places to get food.
And nowadays everything's TA or petrol or Flying J.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, gas stations, there are no more independent ones hardly at all. But I'm saying restaurants wise, like you were talking about that little place in Oregon, like I was looking for places like that and I couldn't find them.
Well, I know there's a couple of things here because there's always a gripe. Anytime anybody gets on these whatever small town groups, or whatever on Facebook, and they say something about, what would you like to see in this town? What kind of new something? And they always talk about a restaurant. And the thing is, there's a couple of things at play. Is that there's now people drive farther for things, and it's just around here. It's natural. I mean, it's nothing to drive 45 minutes, to a really really big town. And so people don't necessarily eat at the local places near as much. And then also regulation. I mean, if you talk to a lot of the places that have closed down, a lot of the regulations and stuff that they have that they have to comply with is it just kills them. It smothers them out.
On the trucks, a lot of people won't stop unless there's, hookups for internet and cable. If they can help it anyways.
And that's what it's gone to now. When I started driving, there wasn't anything like that. Nowadays, you go to the truck stops and they've got this unit that will come up and pop right into your window, and it's got all your connections there. It's got all your internet and everything else that you need. When I started driving truck, that was not a factor. We didn't even really have cell phone services. Almost everywhere we went, there wasn't cell phone service unless we were around a large city. And so we literally operated with something like this in our truck, and it was a satellite phone. And the damn thing cost like an absolute fortune to use, but that was the means of communication back then.
Yeah, we used to use Qualcomm's.
Oh, I absolutely hated Qualcomm's system. I'm glad that my company could deal with them.
That's what the company used, so that's what I dealt with. And then, afterwards I'd get to the truck stop and I'd call and bitch out my dispatcher.
But I know what you're saying, G-Webs. It's real difficult to find decent places to eat. And when you do come across them, you got to really flag them so that excuse me, so that if you ever come through that way again, that's going to be your best bet. Sometimes just getting up on the radio and asking any local drivers if there's anything in the area. That's one of the other alternative ways you can discover some decent places, because you want to find good places to stop, good places to eat. Usually the drivers are the only ones that will be able to tell you.
Are they still using CB for that?
Yep.
So it's
absolutely.
Oh, so it's worth keeping a CB in the car?
Oh man, I feel for you. You've been doing all that traveling without a CB. You got to get a decent CB in there.
Oh no, I got them. The last time I did it in 12, we brought I always get one that has a scanning, to scan all 440 channels, so I can not miss anything. I see what's going on. But we drove quite a ways in 12, and I didn't hear nothing. Like it was scanning and didn't pick nothing up. So I thought everybody went to internet or something. I figured they weren't using the CBs anymore.
No, they're going to keep using that system. There's times where you won't catch anything on it. There's times where you just hear guys just talking about this, that, or the other thing, every now and then you get those advertisements like, any of you big burly truck drivers out there, come get me, haha. But other than that,
joints.
I just remember back in school, I would always have one because I'd be driving around, and then like I'd always have a scanning one, and then yeah, you'd hear the truckers all saying like, "Get out of the right lane." Well, that was before phones and stuff too, I guess, to tell you where traffic was.
yeah, I actually haven't run a CB since I got out of. Well, I did have one for a couple of years once I got out of trucking. Yeah, that system is never going to completely die, I don't think, in the trucking industry.
Well, I guess it lets two trucks that don't necessarily know each other just immediately start talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I feel like I missed an opportunity. Damn it.
Well, I've always had one in my pickup just because you never know when you need the damn thing.
Well, that's the thing. I always used to carry one anyway, just in case, because when we go to Vegas, there's like a couple of strips there where cell phones didn't work. It might have some places where they still don't work, and CB's always going to work. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And at least you can get a trucker to, like, even if he ain't going to stop, he can do something like make a call for you.
Oh, and everybody gives truck drivers shit. They just think they're, I don't know what exactly they think. But if you look at the majority of the statistics of accidents that have happened on highways, I would be willing to put a huge bet that a truck driver is the one that called it in. A truck driver was the first one that was on the scene, and usually the first person to render aid to anybody is a truck driver. Of course, then again, they might be the ones that stopped the drunk driver that was hitting cars and hitting other trucks, and used their truck to block the whole highway, pull the guy out of his car, and beat him with a mag light. I could be wrong, though.
I know I pissed off more than a handful of them driving around, going 60.
Well, something most people don't realize, you get that thing loaded at 8,000 pounds, you're doing 50 miles an hour better. It takes more than 2 football fields to stop the damn thing.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, mostly the hills, you know. Like, I knew I was fucking around with them sometimes when I'd try to get out of their way. But
it depends on what you have in the truck. Because, like, if it's a company truck, you're going to be lucky if you've got a 300-horse engine. You have to get up all the speed you can so you can make it up the damn hill. Other trucks, you know, owner-operator trucks, they tend to have a 4 1/4 cat or better, and they can just plow damn up anything.
Up here in Michigan, I work in the steel industry, and we regularly get guys in with over 100,000 pounds worth of steel on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's brutal, man.
Well, and that's one of the advantages that I had. I was running owner operator trucks that were turned up to the hilt, and so when you'd come up to weight scales like Grapevine in Southern California, they built this place in a really stupid spot. They built it right at the base of this freaking mountain. And so you have to stop, and then all of a sudden you have to try and increase your way up this hill with like no running start at all. And it causes more accidents than anything, I think. Later, Clover.
When I came from San Diego up to, or I came around going from Arizona to San Diego, there's you know, you come out of the desert and there's these hills, and then you get down into San Diego. So between the desert and in San Diego, on one of these stupid hills, you come up the hill, like 3/4 of the way up the hill, and there's a border patrol thing. So they're stopping everybody 3/4 of the way up a hill. Yeah, so everybody gets out of that thing, and you're going like, a mile an hour to try to go up a hill out of there. It's ridiculous.
All righty, guys.
Everybody
Well,
left.
it seems like I'm dropping panel members, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. What do you got going on right now, G-Webs? You got anything special going on?
No, not really. Just the stuff over on Gun Channels there.
Good deal. Good deal. I recently signed up as a featured member on Gun Channels. Anybody that I'm preaching to the choir, I know everybody here is probably already on Gun Channels, but if not, check it out. You got anything going on, Night Strike?
Not a thing.
Other than putting effort into growing that beard, or
dude, I have the beard grown. It makes the Scotsman's look like, I don't know. It makes his look like he keeps it kept, but mine is the Grizzly Adams, where you don't mess with it, you just let it grow.
All right.
I have a picture if you want to see it, but not right now.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good.
Well, thanks for hosting. Appreciate it.
Going on?
Not a whole lot. Just shooting and uploading videos when I get time. I started my YouTube channel about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago tops. Just been putting some work into that.
All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead. Now that Biker Bob has shown up into the room, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down because
we don't want Canadians in here.
Yeah, we don't want none of that in there.
This Canadian free zone, eh?
Well, thanks for hosting.
Yeah, I got love for the Biker Bob, but I'm going to shut her down. Thanks for everybody for jumping in. Just a little impromptu, not worthy of watching. And thanks for everybody jumping in.
Thanks for having us.
There we go.